and welcome to episode 9 of the PLAYIN Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Thinkbad Monkey, aka Alex Nicol, or the other way around. We change every week. Once again, as always, I'm joined by another one of our trusty PLAYIN hosts, Conrad Window, aka Romnomnom.
Hello, I seem to be the only one who can actually make it.
I know, it's me and you. We're like
Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Batman and Shaft.
Well, actually, I was going to say we're more like Conan O'Brien and the other one. What's his name?
Randy, is it Randy?
I don't know, yeah. And that voice you might hear is a guest podcaster this week because Steve and Alec couldn't make it. So say hello to Robert Nicol, a.k.a. MuddyMod Rob.
Yeah, that's me, MuddyMod Rob.
Yep. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
I know you're a big fan of the podcasts.
Listen to them every week.
Always
What's your favourite one so far? What's your favourite episode been? Pick a number between 1 and 8.
It's got to be the first one.
Okay. Why?
Readers.
That's the I like the stuff they did on the NFL.
Okay, yeah.
And,
Fair.
it's good. There's a good comment.
Good.
Listeners, because you can't see him, Rob is actually sweating right now.
We've given him a bit of beer to calm him down. So Rob, what we do, as you know, of course, because you listen, is we talk about the games we've been playing this week. A little bit dry. We played a lot last week. I'll tell you that. And now I've got this big catalogue of games I just need to go through. And I bought Infamous. Today. I was with you, Conrad. I bought Infamous. But it was almost like I want to buy it and need to buy it to speak to these guys about it as a reviewer standpoint. But I could have done with not even having that. You know what I mean? I've still got loads of games. I'm loving Awesome Naught. So the one thing I want to talk about again is just Awesome Naughts because last week I hadn't played it too much, so I just introduced it. But I've had a chance to really boil down, and I love that game. Graphically, it's so pretty and nice, and like cool character design. Gameplay's fantastic, and it just sucks you in. Love it. I love it.
Good. Yeah, we've got a big list this week. I think I've played a couple of games as well, which is a nice change.
Yeah, we've got a few mobile games as well, right?
Yeah.
So last week was a big console sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
This week we've actually got the mobile games going on, and we released our first train game today in a long old time, Disco Zoo, which Steve reviewed. So
and I believe my one is coming out very soon, right?
What one is that?
Zombie Tsunami.
Zombie Tsunami.
Or has that already gone out?
No, it already went out. It's already been out, yeah.
So we did our first train game a couple of days
We did our
ago.
first train game a couple of days ago. Fine, apologies. I'm sorry, Conrad. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Rob, what have you been playing? Because I'm interested, as a new guest here, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Pokemon on the. I found
your iPhone. We're not allowed to tell you how he's playing Pokemon because it's
a bit cheeky.
But he's been playing Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow,
Leaf Green.
Leaf Green. So the newer version of.
No,
That's still quite old.
Leaf Green's first gen.
But it's like
it's not the first one.
They released Leaf Green after like Gold and Silver and all that.
It was Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, and then Leaf Green, Fire Red, I think.
I thought there was all like
there was Crystal as well.
X in between.
No, that was afterwards.
Oh, yeah, X and Y was really new.
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about earlier when you told me to come on. No one have to talk about gaming, of course. And it's not. I'm not a noob. I don't want to be throwing that word around. I like to think of myself as a selective gamer. So
I prefer the term enthusiastic amateur.
That's a nice term.
Like a relationship, I find the one, get settled down, sort of buy a house together, get roots, and then just enjoy it. Just go with the flow. Get snuggled in.
So you've had a good go at Pokemon then?
What's that?
What Pokemons you got? What you got?
Ooh,
what Pokemons have you got?
In my bag at the moment, I think up front I'm racking a Blastoise, pretty chuffing when that happened.
Yeah. As anyone was. Never went for Blastoise. Always went for Charizard or Ivysaur. No, Venusaur.
When I pick them, I always.
No, but I was doing the first, didn't I?
Yeah.
When I pick them, I always pick what the last one will look like, and I think Blastoise the coolest. Like Charmander, I like Charmander, but watching the show,
Charizard's the coolest.
Like Charizard, watching the show, he's just uncontrollable.
Yeah, he's a dick.
And Venusaur's just a plant with legs. I'm thinking Blastoise. Right, he's got cannons. So I've got Blastoise.
I always go Blastoise. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Go Blastoise.
You guys are amateurs. It's all like Venusaur.
Yes.
What did you name Gary?
Well, then Gary.
Yeah.
So I started the game while I was watching the show. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep him Gary.
Whoa. Amateur hour.
Amateur hour. No dickhead or spaz boy.
Silly Fringe or something.
Silly Fringe. No, fair enough.
I kept him as Gary. I know where I stand with Gary.
So, good.
I'm in a good place in that.
Come on, what have you been playing? Let's talk about something besides Pokemon. Let's talk about something more new, slightly newer.
Slightly newer.
The review's already gone out. You go.
Okay, I've got to. Let's go Stick of Truth and let's go Titanfall.
Well, I was thinking of Zombie Tofu.
Let's
the review's already out for.
Let's go Zombie Tsunami then.
Zombie Tsunami, yeah. I kind of want to talk about that first because people have mentioned the other ones, which we can talk a little bit about as well. But Zombie Tsunami is a pretty cool little game.
Yeah. I mean, you've played it a couple of times, haven't you? But yeah, it's a cool little game. It's simply, you run around as this zombie herd.
Simply the best.
Exactly.
Keep going. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry. I just need a minute, listeners. I just almost came in my pants.
I was swept away.
I was swept
away. Let's keep this clean.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's a game where you're a herd of zombies, and obviously you got to jump over gaps and sort of temple run in a way. As in you go and.
It's 2D side scroller, right?
Yeah.
So it's not.
It's not
the forward on. It's the side on running game, which is
But you add to your little crew as you're going along, and you can take down cars when you have enough zombies, and then you get to do buses and double-decker buses, and then it's planes and stuff like that. But jumping gaps, and then you get the special power-ups as with most games, and there's a load of really cool ones, and it's a lot of fun actually.
So I like the fact. I mean, runners are runners. I like the fact that you do as your zombies infect more people, you do get a gang together, and suddenly you're running with 20 people, and it's interesting.
But you can lose too easily, or you jump over a cliff. There's no guarantee that ones at the back will get over that bridge because it's just the way it goes. But they don't all jump at the same point. They all go random as they would in a herd.
Yeah.
So I'm watching you play, so it's quite interesting. You're sort of against. Obviously, there's not really a villain, but you're against humans.
Well, you're zombies, right?
Yeah. You're zombies. Yeah.
So is that saying you quite like being the sort of the bad guy, even though you're
This is what Rob brings. We're talking about a little mobile game. Rob's bringing the physical game. Conrad, in your heart, are you the bad guy?
Am I a bad person?
Are you a bad person?
There's only one way to sum this up. Yes.
No, we're not inviting Conrad around anymore. Not to sleep over anyway.
What's your villain laugh?
Yeah, give us a villain laugh.
The villain laugh. Early Cortex.
Early Cortex.
Very
That's
early.
a bad man laugh. That is a bad man laugh. What else have you been playing, mate?
Well, of course, as I said, Titanfall. It's all going well. Really enjoying it.
You got a good chance to give it a good run through now.
Yeah.
Been about a week.
Exactly.
This time last week we were keeping you from playing.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to hear you had a good run out of it.
No, I'm enjoying it. I've done the 2 campaigns now. Absolutely, really enjoying it. It's a really good game. There are a couple of issues that I have. I mean, read my upcoming article about it, but they haven't really taken on the words I said about the beta in terms of they haven't done much customization.
Bastards.
Yeah, I know.
You said in your article what they should improve, and they haven't freaking listened to you.
I'd write a stern letter.
That makes me sick. That makes me physically ill.
I will write a stern letter. A very stern letter.
God.
So I saw time for.
Are you excited? Because you haven't really been involved much with the whole looking. I know you're not a massive fan of checking out games before they come out. So what do you think of Titanfall?
So 1 second, listeners, for those that, well, obviously you don't know, Rob doesn't have a next-gen console at the moment. That doesn't mean he can't play Titanfall. Titanfall's on Xbox 360, but that's beside the point.
And
PC.
I'm rocking the Halo 4 edition 360 still, but
nice.
I was at Eurogamer this year, and I didn't get a chance to play Titanfall because the queue was crazy, but I don't know. The graphics seemed phenomenal. I was watching people play, and I was like, right, that's what next gen should look like. But to me, it just looked like another Killzone sort of Halo futuristic shooter. Is there anything real anything different about the game in that context, or is it just that sort of game?
Well,
but with the graphics.
In a way,
it's interesting you actually say graphics before Con responds, because I'm sure he's going to mention it. The graphics is actually one of the things that it's become known for. If anything, it's the gameplay. It's interesting that you saw the graphics and noted that. I mean, it's a very pretty game, but in terms of specs and industry things, and that's not one of the things that it's becoming well received. So it's interesting, kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, I don't understand. I mean, some people
especially compared to a game like Rise, which is very pretty, or Forza.
Well, a lot of people have said about Titanfall only doing 790 something p or some shit like that. But it is a very pretty game, and that's something I really enjoy about it. Actually, it does look amazing, and I tell you what, it is just in a way, it is a futuristic shooter. Because if you just go around pilot v pilot, then it is a futuristic shooter. Because there isn't that much else. I mean, it's got the generic game modes of capture the flag, domination, kill, team deathmatch, obviously. But there are it's something about the robots that does
brings it out.
It does. It brings it to another level. It is just a future shooter.
I'm saying at the moment, it's quite easy to make a pretty game. Like, it's getting to a point where
you say it's easy,
but most of the games coming out there pretty. It's just something different. You want to see.
Absolutely. I mean, and the developers are learning the technology of the consoles at the moment. You compare game that came out launched with the 360 to ones at the end of the generation. It's just it's not even comparable. But moving on into some of the stuff that's just been announced, actually, Titanfall was relevant. Titanfall 2, even. So, EA are retaining the rights to it, which is potentially not going to be a Windows exclusive next gen, which is going to be interesting. Just on Titanfall news, I don't know if anyone's heard that.
Just a quick sort of insert, with sort of the graphics and the gameplay, so everything's always important. What's something that just bugs me is when there's a lot of hype around something that when you play it just turns out to be not a big deal. I remember when Arkham Asylum first came out, there was a massive build up around the fighting style and how there's an unlimited amount of moves and it's just like fighting style something completely different. And playing it, and watching people play it, just alright, it's probably there. They just didn't seem. They built their sometimes.
It's interesting you say Arkham Asylum because that's critically. I loved it. It's critically renowned. It's not.
I loved Asylum.
That wasn't a game that disappointed people. That game pulled it. It was huge.
But that's something I felt they built it around, and that wasn't the thing that made the game great. So
I mean, it's interesting. I know we've addressed Conrad's playing Titanfall beforehand, but it was actually Conrad only started to get excited about it when you'd actually played it. So you didn't give in to the hype. You were very sceptical until you played it.
Yeah, very, very. But just going on to Asylum for a second, because you mentioned it. I love the series. Well, I say I love the series. I loved Asylum. Played City and thought this is pretty much Asylum just with a different hat.
Well, the new one's coming out soon as well.
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah.
and
Arkham Knight.
Yeah, I didn't play Origins in the end because that just looks even worse than City. I played City, but Arkham Knight actually looks like it will be good, and I'll probably end up going back to that series. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, what also looks good, and it's out today, is Infamous Second Son, which I've purchased, sitting right in there. So the same way that we were keeping you, you're keeping me this week on. So I think everyone should apologise for that straight away.
I don't think people apologised last week. So
I apologise. I actually did apologise last week.
Alex, I'm sorry to keep you.
You are disgraceful. Okay, fantastic. I'm gonna. We will be. I'll be streaming that on and off. So make sure to check out the site for glimpses of a stream of Second Son. Don't watch if you want any spoilers, because it's a very single-player based game, of course, so there will be spoilers if you watch me play it. So, looking forward to playing that. But I want to talk about some of the things that have been in the news, because there's been some very, very interesting stuff coming out this week that I am very keen to get your opinions of, people. The first one is Sony's VR headset. Rob, have you seen this at all?
I haven't, no. You mentioned it earlier.
I have mentioned it earlier. So basically, for those who don't know, and for Robert here in the audience, not in the audience, you're in the panel.
In the room.
In the room. Sony has announced, they've been rumored for a while, people knew they were working on it, but they've announced their own virtual reality headset, much like the Oculus Rift, to work with the PS4. And could be other things as well, we're not sure at this point, but it looks very pretty. Codename Project Morpheus. And to be honest, anything that's called Morpheus
is going to be
pretty cool. And yeah, I'm pretty damn excited to see how it's going to work out. I think something like the Oculus Rift, me and Con, we've of course given it a go, and pretty cool. I mean, we used a sort of a low res version, so whenever we had to move and do it at the same time, it just made our stomachs turn a little bit.
Yeah, I must admit, I felt very sick playing.
But just not playing, just maybe going on the roller coaster was fine for me. But I mean, the whole idea, I'm not totally sold on virtuality, but I'm excited the prospect of this one over the Rift because they've got this catalogue of games to build into, you know, and they've got the controller, which I think is going to be slightly better. I know you can plug the controller into PC, but I think the controller is slightly better than a mouse and keyboard, especially from my standpoint. And they've got the franchises from PlayStation to upload this and make it pretty damn good straight off the bat, rather than trying to incorporate Rift technology into it. And of course, the other piece of technology is they've come up with the ability. It's almost like an infrared tracker that tracks your eyes. So instead of looking with the analog sticks, you just look with your eyes and you go there. And they've had a demo working on Infamous Second Son.
That's very weird.
Yeah, I think it's going to revolutionise gameplay. I mean, in 10 years' time, we must be thinking, "Fuck me."
Do you remember when we talked about that?
And look, well, you know, I was playing. I've been playing a few PS1 games on my Vita, and it's funny that you know, they're not analog stick compatible, so I have to go to the trackpad. And I'm like, God, so maybe in a few years' time, I'm sitting there playing these retro games, going, bloody hell! Can you remember when we had to use analog sticks?
That'd be, yeah.
Oh, Rob, would you want to control with your eyes?
I played. I didn't. It wasn't Oculus Rift, but again, at a Eurogamer, I tried this. I can't remember the name, but it was essentially a pair of glasses, and that wasn't so much eyes, but it was head movement, as Oculus Rift is. So, I found it quite a weird experience, but that's might be because I'm not really used to it.
Yeah.
But I played the first level in Halo 3, the drop level.
Yeah.
And it was an experience, and I can see myself getting used to it. The only problem that I would have initially when you said about the headset,
you got a big head?
I've had them problems, but it's with advances like this, and everyone gets excited about, oh wow, I think they're great, but they need to come out hard. So with
I apologise for any trouble that people may cause. Rob doesn't mean what he says all the time.
But like for example, when Kinect came out, they had the Kinect Adventures, but again, didn't really bring any games for it. And you'll probably agree with PlayStation Move. There's not a lot of game.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I was talking about this with you, Conrad, the other day.
Yeah.
So I've bought a PlayStation Move. I like it to talk to people just in the room, but I don't use it for any. I played the Playroom once. You only need to play it once. And then we were also talking beyond the speech capabilities of the Kinect. I'm amazed that it's been a few months into the generation and we haven't seen any decent Kinect title come out yet.
Sports Rivals has been delayed.
And apparently,
that's going to be Christmas now. Apparently,
Water Cooler as well. It's not a good game. What in the process of what it is now, it's just not very good. You know, so I'm amazed the fact that we are into this generation where the PlayStation Move is a good piece of tech, but of course the Kinect is an incredible piece of tech, and the Xbox hasn't jumped on the opportunity to. You know, they should have launched that and made sure they had a Kinect title on launch.
So so that's just going back to what I was saying. So if Sony, obviously they will release this headset, they need to go hard. They need to be alright. Here's 3 games that use it.
I totally agree.
Because it's just like me saying, I've invented a new type of fork. All right, that's fine, but we're eating soup. It's like
nice analogy.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whoa, that is
nice analogy.
So it's a brilliant fork, but it's still there's nothing to use it with.
Yeah.
I think you just need to.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
What the fuck? That's awesome.
Yeah, good analogy. Yeah, it's like inventing a new fork when everyone's just eating soup. Exactly. Xbox, if you're listening, new marketing slogan. Not to use, obviously, it's negative, but to just remember. You know, just keep that in the back of your mind. Don't reinvent the fork when everyone's eating soup.
Xbox 360. Make a whole meal.
I mean, you got connected to the 360. You played it for a day, and then you haven't played it since.
What put me off with 360 is not so much the games, it was the space, because they advertised it and it was amazing. All the adverts, people in these massive apartments, and then you get it and you realise, right.
I haven't got the room.
I mean, your room, Conrad, you haven't got room to play a Kinect game. But you've got room to shout fire arrows at Rise.
Definitely.
Well, like Phosphor Dar in Skyrim, yeah, that's fair enough. But to really access it, you need a space.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's true. No, true point.
Yeah, very.
That's something I like about Move. You can use it in your desk chair. It's the playroom. You can have fun sitting down. The Kinect, there's not really anything where you can use the motion.
Well, even my camera on my PlayStation is very close to me. The playroom, I have to hold my controller right up. So you do need space for all of it.
I actually brought an attachment for my Kinect camera that reduced the space needed, and that was still not enough to say it. So I think that's a problem. Just make it a bit more close quarters, and that'd be if someone said, right, what could be improved with the Kinect, that would be the improvement.
Stop making forks when you're eating soup.
But I mean, this actually is, Rob, it's actually in a unique position we're on right now, is we haven't had someone on the podcast before who hasn't made their choice about next generation games.
Yeah.
No, have we? No, we haven't.
I wasn't sure whether Steve had decided.
When we first did it.
Yeah.
Oh,
a good shout.
maybe not. If
now the games are released.
But at the moment, they're not with the games.
Of course.
You touched on it earlier, Con, about what would make Rob play it, and so. With these new techs, Rob, or with the games we've mentioned, what is the thing that would persuade you to buy an app? Is it a game? Is it tech that comes with it? A particular franchise? What would make you choose what console to buy?
So, like I said earlier, I'm quite a selective gamer, so I pick a game and I run with it.
Yeah.
And my favourite games that I've played and the ones that I've really enjoyed are my favourite game of all time is Crackdown.
Yeah.
And
very interesting choice.
And that's kind of, well, what's not a great game when you can jump onto a 50-story building? That's all.
Yeah.
But favorite play game, and fell in love with the Halo series as well. And Gears of War, I know the Judgment fell a bit short.
It's just stop you there, Rob, because it sounds like you kind of should just go with Xbox. It doesn't really seem like a decision here. Like you basically said, it's tricky. I like all these Xbox exclusives, but
that's what I'm saying. Everything in my head tells me to get an Xbox, but then. So
what's stopping you getting an Xbox then? That's the question then. Because I agree with you. Great, those games are great. Crackdown's fantastic. Crackdown 3, when it comes out eventually, I'm sure it should be a great game. Halo again. I'm very invested in the Halo series, and I really want to play the new one when it comes out. Whether I sneak around Conrad's house to play it when he's asleep.
No, come around when I'm awake.
Good, okay. And what was the third? Gears of War as well. I'm turned off a little bit of Judgment. Didn't play Judgment. Didn't fancy it. But if they reboot the series in a good way, I'm going to want to try that as well. But what's turning you off getting it then? Let's say besides price here, because. Well, unless that is a big factor, that's the only factor I'm mentioning.
Price is a massive factor. Obviously, a lot more. Both new gens are a sort of considerable cost. Obviously the only real experience I've had with a next gen, apart from sort of glimpses at expos and sort of in store, is watching you play your PS4.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just seems like I've played with you on the 2-player games, like the Lego games and. On Call of Duty, we've changed up and deaths and things, and it just seems like a nice experience. And I haven't yet had that experience to. I'm a definitely try before you buy kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I haven't yet had the experience to buy the Xbox. That's what's pushing me off, because especially even in game haven't really a lot of games. They've got all the PS4s in. But I still haven't. I don't know if they have now, but the games I've been into haven't got Xboxes in.
Yeah, no, I've actually only seen PS4s in the game. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, fair play. I mean, I haven't even really had a good, not good experience, but a long experience with an Xbox. I come in your house to play
Rise
a little bit of Rise, a cheeky bit of Rise, and a cheeky bit of Dead Rising. They're brand yours, but it'd be good to get a bit of title for one in my belt. Just see what that's about.
Yeah, no, I tell you what, that's what we'll do next week. That'll be your treat for the podcast. Yeah.
Bam, a little bit of time.
Yeah, bam, a little bit of Xbox One. There you go.
Yeah, that's my reasons.
That's good reasons. Good reasons. Anything you're looking forward to? Any original franchises you're looking for coming out? We've talked about some of the stuff we're like, but the likes of Quantum Break. If you've seen any, in fact, or the likes of The Order. Anything you like the look of this year?
There hasn't been anything that I've thought, wow, I need to play this game. The last...
So you excited for World of Warcraft then?
No, I'm definitely more a RuneScape, Diablo kind of guy when it comes to them sort of games.
How about Diablo? How about the new Diablo then? It's coming to the Reaper of Souls DLC. You gonna buy it? Comes out today, tomorrow. Comes out this week.
I saw the trailer and got pretty excited. It's at the moment I'm invested with work at the moment. And,
no, you're not. You told me today you finished.
I've got 3 weeks off.
Yeah, exactly. That's plenty of freaking time to game. I have evenings and maybe one day in the weekend.
Not with Diablo. I remember the
3 weeks is plenty of time to smash out some Diablo. You cannot be kidding me here. Come on, back me up.
You've got to get the levels. You've got to start farming.
Yeah, 3 weeks. That's loads of time.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. Looks fantastic. That's probably the one thing I'm looking forward to. Again, I can't really. I've stopped looking because I haven't got the next gen, and I don't feel they're pushing the older gen as much.
Not on Xbox, certainly. No.
So I think they've sort of given up on the people that have. So they've sort of said, well, if you're not going to buy our new console, we're not going to bother with you. And I think that's a shame because even if they're
well, South Park came out on the old consoles.
Yeah, but
Dark Souls 2 has just come out there. This month, a lot of games have just come out on the old consoles. You know,
but
if you have a PS3 as well, you know, Final Fantasy X's come out again, launched this month. PS3's got. I think PS3 at the moment is having slightly more support than the Xbox in terms of their PlayStation Plus members, but there's still a lot of games coming out on the old gen. Which is interesting, because I remember hearing when the PlayStation 1 was announced that Xbox was going to release a new, cheaper version of the Xbox 360, and they were going to continue to support it well into this generation, which has apparently gone to the frick. Like, that's just disappeared, because I was well looking forward to buying one of them cheap Xbox 360s.
Well, no, they
remember that? I'm not being crazy.
They did release one.
Did they?
But that's what I'm saying. They're not being loyal. They're sort of saying, oh, yeah, well, if you're not going to buy it, you might as well have this. They brought it has round edges, and it's quite sleek looking.
Oh, have I just completely missed that?
No, you haven't missed it, because I only saw
it. I'm trying to look it up.
Walking past HMV, looked at the window and was like, I've never seen that Xbox before. It's something they just didn't push. And I think you've got to be loyal to the people that maybe can't afford the new consoles.
I think Titanfall's just come out for 360 as well.
But then
there's a lot of games coming out.
But yeah, the games are coming out, and they're tossing a bone to to these people. But it's just they're not. You don't feel the support. That's what I'm saying. They're always pushing their Xbox One, which why wouldn't they? Because they're a company. At the end of the day, they're going to
exactly
push that. But it's I don't know. I haven't felt any love from them sort of companies lately, and it's just. I think it's a shame that they've got Xbox 360 in my eyes is a great console still.
Oh, is it that one?
That's the one, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, people that haven't seen it, they saw that it's basically the Xbox 360 as it was.
This was shared in June last year. It's launched a new console. I haven't seen one of them.
I have.
Yeah.
Do you know how much they are?
No.
They were about £200 in June.
£200?
That was brand new. I remember the memory card's extremely good. It's 250 gig, I think. So it's a good console. Again,
You've got 250 in yours.
Exactly, but that was a lot more new. That's what I'm saying. For a brand new console, I think £200 is still a good amount.
Yeah.
I've still got people that are rocking the PlayStation 2 because they think it's a better console.
Silence. PS2 is a fantastic console, but you can't compare it to the PS4 or Xbox One, that's for sure. I don't know how to phrase this. I don't want to say hypocrite, I don't want to say liar. Onto a mobile game now that I don't think this announcement surprised anyone who has half a brain, but the creator of Flappy Birds has announced he will bring it back to the App Store. Big surprise. Of course he would. What I think happened here, and this is my personal view, is that he quit because he didn't like all the attention, then realised, actually, I like all that money that's coming in. I'm going to try and get more money. Am I wrong?
Well, maybe it was. When you told me, I was like, all right, that's been his plan from the start. He goes, right, there's a buzz around the game. 5 months, I'll quit it. I'll cancel it. There'll be a whole talk about being cancelled. People going, I can't get it again, can't get it again. They want to play the game. Launches it comes back, it will get a lot more downloads than if it was not there because it would have fizzled out.
I don't think it will though. I mean, because at the moment, games like this have their time in the limelight. If it had stayed up, it was in the height of the popularity. It would have got millions and millions. If it threatened to take it off and then didn't, that would have generated more. By taking it off and leaving it, there's a lot of people now that they're done with it. I'm done with Flappy Birds.
I think people like a scandal. It's the first. It's because obviously
it's not a scandal though. He just took it off the App Store.
Well, there was a lot of reasons behind it. Obviously, people breaking their phones, people being injured from fighting over the game, which is ridiculous in my mind. It's a game about a bird flying through some pipes. That's ridiculous.
I put it better myself.
But
you didn't play it, did you, Con? My high score was like 80 odd, so I'm quite proud of that.
Exactly. I got 40 odd, but when I couldn't beat my high score, I was like, right, you know what? I'm not going to obsess over this game. I'll download a new game. It's not a game that I feel that is worth. I can understand sort of if you've been playing World of Warcraft and I know you lose your account after hours and hours of play or something like that, or a big game where you really invest. But because there's like sort of no save data, you don't level up or anything. There's no investment in Flappy Birds.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people are getting so angry, because the only thing they're invested in is their time, and they choose to invest that time.
I don't know how much of a game it is for gamers. It seems more to be a game for...
It's the Doodle Jump, Angry Birds, now Flappy Bird.
Exactly.
It's the thing to
Candy
do.
Crush. It's just a popular culture game.
I'll tell you what it is. It's a doctor's waiting room game.
Yeah.
It's when you have nothing else to do and you have your
Definitely.
phone. It's a waiting room game. And
It doesn't require any thought. You can cancel it whenever you want.
but it does work perfectly for that purpose alone. It works perfectly. Like tapping, like my phone. I'm not gonna lie. I was on the train a couple of weeks ago. I was like, all right, I'm gonna save a bit of time. Played Flappy Birds. Ended up I looked at my clock. I've been playing it for an hour and a half. It just I don't know. It feels a purpose that another game will fill in 5 weeks.
Of course. Yeah.
No, fair play. Maybe we'll see what articles come out when it re-releases and see what the
how
hype
much
is.
it costs.
How much it costs if he's going to charge for it, you know. But I'm he's getting a lot of money off advertising, and advertising will go crazy from that anyway. So maybe he doesn't even need to charge. So that'd be bloody interesting.
Anything
to
for
find
a bit
out.
more money, though.
Well, you know. One thing that I have just seen today, which I've been showing, I haven't. I don't tend to get too excited about stuff this early on because I know it can be so fake. And especially this series, I haven't been excited for in a long old time. But I've been sharing it because it just looks bloody impressive, and that is Assassin's Creed Unity. It's the new first teaser trailer we've seen from the brand new Assassin's Creed game. And it looks ridiculous. The graphics on that look absolutely unfreaking real. I mean, I've shown you guys today. Set in France, revolutionary France, and you probably only see 10, 15, 20 seconds or so, but oh my god, if a game is anything like that...
It does look amazing. I'll tell you what though, it looks like all that Ubisoft have done. They've got that Snowdrop engine from Tom Clancy's The Division, and I've just put it in there, but it does look absolutely fantastic.
Unbelievable.
I'm completely with you saying how it's deteriorated, and I hope it does get back, because I played the first two games, and they are some of the best games I've played. I remember queuing up Boxing Day
to get the first one.
To get the first one. I think that's probably the first experience you had with Assassin's Creed. We played it together, and we were just blown away. And the second one I thought was great, and then I just thought it deteriorated. I thought they tried to make it a bit too clever by putting sort of... honestly, I think guns ruined the game. I love sword, cutlass, dagger.
I don't understand why they put guns into the game, to be honest.
Well, I think you have to have the settings you need the guns, but it's tricky to keep playing areas of history where you don't kind of guns, at least like musket sort of thing, and still keep it interesting.
Until you had the gun, I was like, right, you draw back. It's not the best, and I understand the evolution of gameplay, and you need to put new drivers because people are going to get bored. But I don't know. I hope this one bring it back to its roots a bit. Because the ones that I played after that, I didn't play all the way through. They just didn't have that feel that I didn't feel the same.
My thing with Assassin's Creed games is I love 1, love 2, love Brotherhood, and love Revelations, and then just not getting to 3. I didn't even. I thought the same old shit. Left it. I think I played like an hour of number 3,
And then 4 came out, borrowed it. Everyone was like, "This is incredible. It's different. It's changed." Played 4, and it was it started off same following quest, same escort shit, same. And I just feel like I think maybe, at least for the time being, we'll see when this new one comes out. I think I've just had my fill. I played 4 Assassin's Creed games all the way through, and I've loved every single one. And I think I've just had my fill of Assassin's Creed games.
It's reached that point where you can't do it anymore.
I think it's literally, has reached that point where I've just that even needs to change up dramatically. And Black Flag did do the whole pirate thing, which was cool, but still the missions were still just following someone about. Like, yes, you can do the pirate stuff, but like I love missions. I love being able to do the side quests and stuff, but I love the missions. I'll finish the missions before I do all the side quests, and the missions just weren't interesting. It was just like, oh, follow this guy. Oh god, it was terrible. Like I thought Black Flag. I thought the mission, the first hour of the game was so slow. It was unbelievable.
But you said about sort of changing it up. I saw the teaser trailer earlier today, and it felt like Assassin's Creed used to be. It used to be right. So
it reminded me much more of the first one.
And that's because, and I think what the thing that really reminded you was because in the first teaser trailer for the first game, it was someone's getting hanged. What are you going to do about it? And that's right. So someone's getting a head off, and I don't know. There is the repetitiveness, right? Someone's getting killed again. You've got to save them. But it felt like, all right, there's a life on the lines here. It got to a point where it's like, all right, I've got the ability to run on rooftops. I'm not going to do the missions. I'm going to run around and do that. But if you put a bit of jeopardy in it, and this one feels like there's going to be purpose, and I don't know. I think this one got me excited.
It does remind me a lot more of the first trailer I saw for Assassin's Creed, and I do love Assassin's Creed. I like the 4 titles I played a lot. I played a lot of multiplayer. I played them a lot. This one, I really hope it rekindles a little bit of the fire. Because I do like them. I don't want to stop playing Assassin's Creed games. I think I've literally at the moment just completely had my fill. Happened with Call of Duty, and I happen to quite enjoy Ghosts. Again. So I have hope. Oh, I'm waiting for a feudal Japan one.
I think everyone is.
Yeah, everyone's waiting for a feudal Japan.
Big ass sword.
Big ass sword.
That's how you make a game. Just big ass sword.
Yeah, and you could use some cool weapons for feudal Japan. Like some cool weapons.
You kept throwing stars.
Yeah, well, ninja assassins. Yeah.
Don't even need to play it.
Don't even need.
Just chuck a ninja star. Game completed.
That's the sort of game where you just think about it and you feel like you've done something.
That's it. Yeah, you've done it.
So earlier on, I thought I was going to go. I was like, I might go for a run later. Got a bit tired out. Came home, made a sandwich.
That was it. Your run was done.
That was it.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Con, if you're ready, we're going to move on to a segment which has been affectionately named by everyone here.
By the avid listeners.
By the avid listeners.
Or not.
Conrad's Convo. Conrad's Convo.
Convo. It's the best conversation.
No. Conrad's Convo.
Conrad's Convo.
Thank you. Thank you for at least listening to the show and acknowledging. For those who don't know, every week Conrad will ask us a question each, and we have 1 minute to give him an appropriate answer if he feels it's appropriate. If not, nothing real happens. He just looks at us disappointed. And then, of course, we'll have a little bit of discussion about the point as well afterwards. So, Conrad, do you need me to get a timer up?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
You got a timer?
Yeah.
Okay, fair
I've
play.
got 2 questions. I'm just trying to think who I'm going to ask what.
Okay, that's exciting.
And do you know what? I'll start with Rob. They've both very completely different topic to what we've talked about. Well, one's kind of related. Rob, and this is quite an open question, so I thought I'd give you an open question so you just can run with it. What are your thoughts with in regards to emulators and piracy of video games?
I think that gaming should be accessible to anyone, and I think they're fine. Like personally, but like we said earlier, I'm playing Pokemon at the moment, and I didn't get that through a legal source. But I don't see it as piracy, but it's because I don't know the feeling. It's the feeling you get when you play it. If you're still saying you have a bad time, you're like, oh, can't believe I stole this. But downloaded it, and I'm having a good time. And also, they make it so accessible to do it now. It's like
the internet is a wondrous machine.
So is fornication, but that's a sin against God. Sorry.
The first sort of, I remember sort of a few years ago when you're streaming a film, you feel like a pirate. The whole sort of tuck it under your t-shirt, walking out of shop sort of feel. But it just feels accessible, and I think we've got to a state where it's socially acceptable.
Minute.
Well done. Yeah, very good answer.
I do just want to add, like I don't have my things on this at all.
No,
Can we have a little conversation about that, and then
after,
go to mine?
After your question,
because it's a good question. I think my personal view on that, just a quick little summary for me, is that I think games that are a certain age, I think you can go. They've made their money. They're part of our history as much as anything else.
They're not making their money anymore.
Games that are still in circulation, still selling, I think that then becomes an issue when you're pirating a game. Because, for example, if you want to pirate a game like Minecraft...
Well, this is coming into your question.
Okay, fair play.
At any point you haven't mentioned here, you can go into this.
Go for it.
Well, your question is, and this comes from something I was talking to someone else about. If you bought a game on a console,
yeah.
Say, for example, I'll give you an example. South Park. It was censored on our consoles.
Yeah.
Wasn't censored on the PC. Do you think that it's okay to pirate it or download it if you've paid for it for a console?
I do think so. And I think with music I get this as well. So with music, I don't think there's if I paid for a CD, if I bought the CD, or if I bought it somewhere else, or if my friends has bought it, say one of my relatives has it, or one of my friends has it, I don't think it's an issue if you then acquire that by some means, because you could copy the CD if you wanted to, or if you have paid for that, you've bought it, so you're not damaging anything, because instead of just buying another one, you've already bought that. I love the idea of cross-buy. PlayStation does quite a few titles with cross-buy where you can play it. If you buy it for the PS4 or play it for PS3, you also get it for the Vita. So but some titles don't do that. I think that so really quickly sum up, I think that it is, on some occasions it's yes, if it's literally the same content. If you're denying me content, then yes, I think it's okay.
Okay, yeah, that is something that makes the South Park example a bit different, because it is the case of denied content. I wasn't thinking about playing it on PC. Someone told me it was on PC. It was uncensored, and I should download it. Because I've already paid for it. They said you should pay. You should just download it, and so you can see those scenes.
Well, I'm actually thinking about playing. I've said before on the podcast I consider playing it on PC rather than the console. Even though it's the same sort of price, I'd rather just have it on my PC. Just play it rather than my Xbox at the moment. I'm kind of done with my 360, just because, not because I love the console, but I'm kind of what's the point of why boot it up now?
Well, when we go to our 24-hour gaming for a charity thing, you'll need it for Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm much prepared to boot it back up to play with friends, absolutely.
With that,
they were very good conversations as well, just to say. That was a very good comrades convo, just that out of general. What are you going to go?
Well, you made a great point, and it was something.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
It was something I was going to bring up, but time restraints. Yeah, if you've already brought it. So I'm playing Pokemon. Years ago, so obviously no one's buying Pokemon. You can't buy the cartridge anymore. So that's the only real so second hand. That's the only real accessible thing. And when it was out, I brought the cartridge of Pokemon. I brought the cartridge. Yeah. I completely agree that if you brought it, you could hunt through all your things, finding them. You could,
or you could just
if your friend has it, you could go to his house. But that shit, it's just saving time, and it's not. I don't think that's taking money away.
Yeah. Well, and on that, I think it's time for us to end this edition of the podcast. Actually,
it is. Once again, we have to say adieu to our dear listeners. But at this point, every single week, we do remind you, if you like these podcasts, they're posted every Wednesday on both YouTube, the site, and on Mixcloud. Wherever you're listening to us, please continue to check out our website at www.impayin.co.uk.
Find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/I'mPlaying. Locate us on Twitter at @I'm_playing. Travel over to us on YouTube, which is www.youtube.com/I'mPlayingTV. Mixcloud is I'm Playing. Anything that's worth note, where I'm playing. If you can't find Twitch, for example, where I'm playing. If you can't find us, then let us know and we'll get on there and we'll be called I'm Playing on that platform.
Didn't catch that. They're called I'm Playing.
I'm Playing. IMPLAYIN. I'm Playing. It's thank you very much from me, Conrad.
Yeah, thank you very much, listeners. Cheers.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me. I
hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for filling the space.
Thanks for listening, guys. Listen to what I had to say.
Fantastic. This has been episode 9 of the I'm Playing Podcast. And until next time, keep playing.